I work at a contemporary art museum, and people keep asking me, what kind of art do you have? What does that mean? What should I respond with besides paintings and sculptures? What kind of art are there? Is this art? From in Austin, Texas.
Oh, boy. I mean, you've come to the right place.
Yes, obviously.
I like to think of myself as something of a amateur volunteer docent.
You haven't gone pro yet?
Well, I'm sort of a docent to the world.
Yeah.
Not working at any, not sort of tied to any one establishment. Just sort of wandering the streets and telling people about good art that I saw once. Mm-hmm. When they ask what kind of art do you have, they're talking about one of the main buckets of art, and that's shapes paintings.
Yes.
Is one. It's folks paintings, which is ones of folks. Statues and hanging statues, those are so fun. You get one of those hanging statues with all the shapes and dongle bits on it. That's really cool. That's good.
Especially the hanging statues with the light. And it's like, well, that's a dirty word when you look at it that way. Oh, but it's like a deer when you look at it this way. I love those.
And then there's a bucket called stuff. And this is one where that's like, if it's an old vase that somebody painted, usually a horse on or a beheading. Then that's just stuff. That's just the flotsam and jetsam of the thing.
Can I tell you my least favorite bucket of art is the bucket of might be a chair but isn't. Don't sit on it.
Oh gosh,
those get me every time. That might be what they're calling when they're like, "What kind of art do you have?" Just say like, "None of it looks like chairs." Don't worry.
Don't worry.
One thing that is an easy out for you is because you work at a contemporary art museum, when people kind of ask what kind of art you have, you can just look at them and be like, the new shit.
We got the new releases.
The new hot shit.
Yeah.
None of that old garbage, just the hottest new sounds.
We used to have a water lilies from Monet, but we threw that in the fucking garbage can. And here's one I made with puke.
This is Trent's pube shirt. He made it 2 weeks ago. It's the new shit.
It'll be out of here in 9 days, so enjoy it while it lasts.
I'm going to throw it right on top of Claude Monet's busted old ass.
Here's a dream catcher we made from the shredded up water lilies. It's hot shit, and it's new. The important thing is, it's new.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's all the things we know to say about art, ladies and gentlemen.
I was trying to think who was the nasty mess one. The one who made Jackson Pollock made the nasty messes.
Yes.
Kevin Pollock.
Now we've fully exhausted all of the things we know to say about art.
A similar thing used to happen to me when I worked at Best Buy, and people would call and say, what kind of TVs do you have? Like, tell me about your TVs. And I don't know if y'all know this. It's a lot of TVs.
Yeah,
you're being pranked.
And I think here's all you have to say. If someone says, what kind of art do you have? Say, art I think you'll like. And then say wink. Because they're calling and they won't see
This is such a wild, unanswerable question that I think you have to judo it back onto them and say, what kind of art are you looking for? Because the answer to that...
what would I have to do to get you into some of this art today?
I go to art museums. I visit Houston, and they have so many art museums. Every time we go, we'll hit up a couple art museums, and they're wonderful. They're beautiful. If you were to ask me 3 feet from the front fucking door, hey, Griffin, what are you excited to see in there? I'd be like, and I would run away because I'd feel challenged in that moment because I don't know what kind of art I want. I just want to see it. And then sometimes you'll see a painting that you saw on a TV show once, and that's cool. And that's
pretty great.
I think no matter what you tell these people, they're not fucking coming.
Yeah.
If they're asking this question, no one gets to the door of an art museum, peeks in, and is like, "What the fuck is all this? What is going on in here?" No one drives there to like look in the door to see like what kind of good art you have. I mean, it's just regular art. It doesn't do anything. I like art that does something. You know how
like
in Willy Wonka's
chocolate?
Yes, a big pendulum that knocks shit over. And I just learned about rotation of the Earth. I love it. You know that everlasting gobstopper machine. It burps and farts with all kinds of beautiful colors all over, and at the end you got yourself a sweet treat.
There's a whole fucking room in there where you can lick the art, and it tastes like shit. No one has ever let me lick art.
I went to this art museum once where they let you put on these like futuristic looking vests, and they gave you a little fake gun, and you could run around and shoot each other's vests, and you would get points if you did a good enough job. And then afterward, you could go out to the concession stand and you could have a pizza. That's the best museum I've ever been to in my life.
Billy Bob's Wonderland.
It was a Qzar, I think. It was so that's
Qzar.
I'm not sure
Museum
where the
of Art.
Yes, the Qzar Modern Museum of Moving Laser Tag.
Designed by Guggenheim or whatever.
It's the Guggenheim Qzar Museum. Hey, I got a Yahoo.
I only like poetry that has clues to a treasure. Okay? That's art.
I only like paintings painted on top of another painting that you can only see with an X-ray, and it leads you to something.
Songs that are meant to put a dragon to sleep. That is a song. It does something.
And I want to call a museum now and be like, hey, I'm really excited to come to a museum. Very stoked. I hear you got a Matisse, I think is one of them. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any of those paintings where the eyes follow you no matter where you are? Because fuck that. I'm very scared of whoever's in there.
Do you have any paintings that I might be afraid to be trapped in by a witch that I've crossed? Because if so, no, thank you.
Do you have any paintings where you have to kind of cross your eyes to see them and they're 3D? Because I'm wild for that shit. And no one's got it. My mall used to have them at a concession stand. That was all these goddamn fidget spinners.